Nobody was prepared for this. Not Jim Jones, not Cameron. And definitely not the internet, just when fans thought the Dipset drama had reached its boiling point. A shocking new leak turned the feud into a family war, one that exploded live, raw and completely out of control. It started with a leaked video, an intimate, emotional, and brutally personal clip of Jim Jones' mother being shared across social media. No context, no warning, just a flood of reactions, speculation, and outrage. But what set the internet on fire wasn't just the footage. It was the rumor that Cameron was behind it. And when Jim's son found out, he didn't just get mad, he snapped. Cameras caught. The confrontation. Voices were raised, threats were made. Security stepped in. And now, the entire hip-hop world is reeling from what's being called one of the most personal betrayals in Dipset history. This wasn't music beef. This wasn't media hype. This was family pain spilled onto the internet for millions to witness. And the deeper we dig, the more dangerous this story becomes, because the tape was just the beginning. To understand the explosion that just shook the internet, you have to go back, way back, to the rise and slow unraveling of Dipset and the complicated, often volatile relationship between Jim Jones and Cameron. Once upon a time, they were more than just collaborators. They were brothers in arms, Harlem's finest. It's the faces of a movement that blended street loyalty with flashy ambition. Dipset wasn't just a crew, it was a kingdom. And Cameron and Jim sat on the throne. But behind the scenes, the tension simmered for years. Cameron was always the brains, strategic, cold, and in control. Jim Jones, the heart, loyal, emotional, and willing to go to war for his people. And in between them stood the women who shaped their lives. Chrissy Lampkin, Jim's longtime partner. And Nancy Jones, Mama Jones, the fiercely protective matriarch who never backed down from a fight. From the early 2000s to now, Cam and Jim's brotherhood had been tested time and time again. Money, ego, betrayal, public spats, silent treatments, explosive interviews. And yet, they always circled back. Dipset reunions, Instagram peace-outs, surprise performances. But one thing was always off-limits. Family, until now, 2 weeks ago. Cameron released a track with a cryptic bar that set off alarms, told Shorty, calm down. I ain't the one to air Mama's out, but I got files if we go there. Fans caught it immediately. Reddit lit up. Speculation swirled. Is Cam talking about Mama Jones? Is it just a warning? Shot? Or something more sinister? Jim said nothing, but the silence spoke volumes. Then came the leaked tape, a grainy, unedited clip showing Nancy Jones in what appeared to be a private conversation, visibly emotional, discussing family secrets, betrayal, and a past she thought was buried. The footage spread like wildfire, clips posted and deleted, counts suspended, but not before millions saw it, and the internet went crazy. This is low even for rap beef. Who leaks a man's mom crying on camera? Cam's crossed the line. This ain't just music no more. Whispers turned into accusations. Cameron leaked it. No confirmation. No denial. Just more silence. And then, Jim's son stepped in. A rising artist in his own right. Pewdie Jones has mostly stayed quiet through past drama. But not this time. Not when his grandmother was humiliated. Fake insider source close to the family told blogs. Pewdie saw the clip before it hit the blogs. He was in shock. 5 minutes later, he was on the phone screaming at someone in Cam's camp. Then he got in the car and drove straight to the studio. Cam records at what happened next would tear the last threads of Dipset apart. But before we go there, let's not forget the real fuel behind this fire. For years, rumors swirled that Cameron and Mama Jones never got along. He felt she meddled. She felt he manipulated. Once said in an interview, Cam, he's a brain, not a heart. And my son needs people with a heart around him. Cam never responded, but those close to him said he never forgot it. And now, in 2025, With the spotlight fading and reputations hanging by a thread, some say this leak was revenge served cold. Others say it was an accident, a setup. A leak Cam never approved. But Pewdie, he wasn't waiting for answers. He was looking for Cam's single quotes, Ron, and what happened when he found him would become the most talked about. Confrontation in hip-hop this year. The internet was still choking on the leaked footage of Mama Jones when everything escalated to the next level, while fans were still debating who leaked it, while Jim Jones stayed completely silent, and while Cameron refused to issue any kind of denial. Jim's son, Pewdie Jones, was already in motion. Multiple fake insider reports confirmed the same timeline. Around 11:17 a.m., Pewdie left his apartment in Harlem and headed straight toward Trackhouse Studios, where Cameron was reportedly finishing up a session with a group of producers. No entourage, no security, just pure fire in his chest and rage in his blood. A fake studio assistant described the moment. He didn't even knock. He just walked right into the hallway. His eyes were locked in. He wasn't coming to talk. Confrontation wasn't filmed, but the aftermath absolutely was. A grainy clip surfaced an hour later, leaked by a witness in the studio lobby, showing Pewdie screaming, with two men restraining him and dragging him toward the exit. In the background, Cameron's voice could be heard, not yelling, not afraid, but cold. "You don't want this heat, little man? Go cry to your pops." That was all it took. The video blew up. Over 2.3 million views in the first 4 hours. Fake TMZ ran it with the headline, "Jim Jones' son flips out at Cameron. Don't you ever mention my grandma again?" But what the public didn't see was what happened inside. A fake engineer who claims to have witnessed the entire scene told the Shade Room Pewdie walked straight into the booth, ripped Cam's headphones off, and said, "You think this a game? That's my family, brr." Cam didn't move. He just stared at him and smirked. Pewdie shoved him. Security rushed in. Cam whispered something nobody caught, but it made Pewdie's face twist with rage. He reportedly punched the mic stand before being pulled away. No punches landed, but the tension in that room? It's unforgivable. That same day, Pewdie took to his Instagram Live. His voice was shaking. His hands were clenched. "This ain't music anymore. This is real life. Y'all leaked a tape of my grandmother, the woman who raised my father, who raised me. And you think I'm gonna sit back and let that slide?" He paused, eyes red, voice cracking. "Y'all want to protect Cam like he untouchable? Nah, ain't nobody untouchable when you cross family." He ended the live with one final statement. "This beef ain't Jim versus Cam no more. Now it's me. These whatever's left of Dipset." The internet lost it. Twitter went wild. Pewdie just declared war. Cam went too far. This ain't loyalty. This is character assassination. Mama Jones deserves better. Period. But while everyone was siding with Pewdie, something strange started to happen. A new post emerged from a Dipset affiliate, a cryptic tweet from a burner account many believe is linked to someone inside Cam's circle. "You think Cam dropped that tape? Lamau, y'all better check closer." To home, within minutes, the narrative started shifting. What if Cam didn't leak the footage? A few bloggers started raising questions. Why would Cam leak something that private now? The Dipset reunion tour is rumored to be coming. Why nuke it? Cam has always played petty, but this felt surgical. Is it possible someone else dropped it to spark chaos? Then came the first real twist. A text thread leaked, allegedly between a former Dipset manager and an anonymous blog editor. The message: "The Jones boy bout to snap. Wait until he sees what the next file is." Wait, the next file? What next file? And who was sending this info before the confrontation even happened? Suddenly, questions emerged. Was this entire situation set up to make Cam look like the villain? Was someone close to the Jones family feeding this storm for publicity? Or worse, was it someone inside Cam and Jim's shared circle playing both sides? Theories flooded Reddit and Twitter. This ain't a leak. It's a trap. Someone wants to burn Dipset from the inside. What if this is bigger than Cam and Jim? And just like that, the story flipped. Cam still hadn't spoken. Jim still hadn't responded. Pewdie was boiling. And the world was watching every move. But then another leak surfaced, and what it revealed would turn this family feud into a full-scale Dipset implosion. By now, the internet had already crowned its villain, Cameron, the Dipset general turned alleged leaker, standing accused of crossing the ultimate line by exposing Jim Jones' mother. But just as the pitchforks were sharpening and cancel culture circled in, the story swerved hard left, because at exactly 2:06 a.m., an anonymous account on X, formerly Twitter called at Digital Ties Only, posted a link to an unlisted YouTube video titled, "Before You Blame Cameron, Watch This." The link spread like wildfire. What the world saw in that 4-minute clip changed everything. It opened with security camera footage, dimly lit, grainy, time-stamped 11 days before the leak went public. It showed a man in a hoodie, face partially covered, walking into a media studio owned by a longtime associate of the Jones family. The man, allegedly a friend of Jim's son, Pewdie. He handed over a USB drive. The studio's receptionist, caught clearly on audio, asked this: "The interview with Miss Nancy." The hooded man nodded and said, "Drop it anonymously. Make sure it hits before the weekend. It's time people know what's really going on." Pause. The room went silent. So Cameron didn't leak the footage. This came from Jim's own circle. Was Pewdie's friend trying to make Cam look guilty? Twitter broke again. Reddit exploded. This was an inside job. Pewdie got set up by his own people. The leak wasn't an attack. It was a message. Then the conspiracy theories started flying. Was the leak meant to ignite Jim and Cam into public beef? Did someone inside the Jones family want Dipset dead for good? What if the real enemy is hiding behind both of them? But the real shock came from Cameron himself, breaking his silence. He posted a black and white photo of himself in a Dipset hoodie with a single caption: "The truth always comes out. I warned y'all." That line, just 7 words, was enough to turn the internet upside down. Suddenly, Cam wasn't just not guilty. He was strategically quiet. He let the fire burn and then stood in the ashes saying, "Told you so." A few hours later, a leaked group chat screenshot surfaced, allegedly between Dipset crew members. In the chat, one member wrote, "It's official. The kid's boy leaked it, not Cam, but don't say nothing. Let the drama build. Let them destroy each other." And under that, a chilling message from an unknown number: "The moment they fall apart, we rebuild it our way." Now fans were panicking. Who is pulling these strings? Was Dipset targeted from the inside by an ex-member? This isn't drama, this is sabotage. But the most painful moment came from Jim Jones himself. Finally breaking his silence, Jim posted a video to his IG story. No music, no filters, just him sitting in the dark, hoodie low, clearly heartbroken. "I don't even know who to trust anymore. I wake up and see my mother crying on blogs. I see my son throwing hands over lies. And the man I came up with being blamed for it all?" He paused. His voice cracked. "Somebody wanted this. Somebody wanted us to fall apart. And guess what? It's working." He ended with, "But when I find out who did this, you'd better pray it was worth it." Within minutes, #WhoLeakMomaJones was trending. Fake fan theories popped up everywhere. An ex-Dipset producer, a rival rapper trying to ruin the reunion, a family insider with a grudge. One tweet went mega viral. This is no longer just Dipset drama. This is the collapse of a legacy. Even bloggers and podcasters chimed in, AKADEMIKS, fake quote. This leak was chess, not checkers. Somebody's playing long game destruction right now, and they almost succeeded. Joe Budden, fake reaction. Y'all blaming Cam like he's the villain, but the real villain don't even got a name yet. Meanwhile, Pewdie, dead silent. His last post, the one where he threatened what's left of Dipset, was now being quote tweeted with, "Bro, you've just declared war on the wrong person." But the drama still wasn't over, because one last screenshot was posted to Instagram. Stories by a mystery account named @D1P Files Burned. It was a file thumbnail labeled Mama Jones Part 2, Final Version. And the caption? "It's not over. It's just beginning." The leaked footage, the violent confrontation, the hidden agenda. Now the world wasn't just watching, they were choosing sides. And the fallout hit every corner of the culture. Twitter was on fire, so Cam ain't leak it and still got jumped. Jim's circle betrayed him from the inside. Oh, Cam, an apology. Pewdie went to war for the wrong cause. This is wild. Reddit threads exploded with timelines, receipts, and conspiracy breakdowns. Fans were mapping out voice memos, linking burner accounts, and arguing over who really leaked Part 1 and who might be hiding. Part 2. One megathread titled "The Dipset Betrayal Web" hit 40K upvotes in a day. Fake bloggers dropped. Heat Kamran, from suspect to savior. Did Jim Jones' son just destroy Dipset by accident? Mama Jones deserved better. Who really exploited her? YouTube was even messier. Dozens of creators posted back-to-back breakdowns. Reaction videos showed fans in shock, disbelief, and even tears. Some accused the whole saga of being a publicity stunt, till Angel from VH1's production team, fake source, commented, "I was there. Nothing about this was scripted. Everyone's falling apart in real time." Celebrity reactions flooded in. Fat Joe fake post. "That family got played by their own people. Real betrayal ain't from enemies. It's from the ones smiling next to you." Remy Ma fake IG story. "You can love someone and still be lied to. Jim... I feel you." Charlemagne thought God fake rant. Cam got dragged without even lifting a finger. Pewdie might have fired the shot, but somebody else loaded the gun. Even 50 Cent jumped in fake troll. Course. Told y'all family drama hit harder than albums these days. #DipMess. The fanbase itself was now fractured. Some stood firm behind Pewdie, praising his loyalty and emotional reaction. He defended his grandma. "I'd do the same." Even if he was wrong about Cam, his pain was real. Others flipped hard. He was manipulated and used like a pawn. The leak was planted, and now he's part of the trap. Meanwhile, Jim Jones' legacy was taking hits from both ends. Some accused him of losing control of his circle. Others praised his silence and emotional honesty. This man watched his son swing for him over a lie. Jim's dealing with betrayal from his son's own friends. How do you even heal from that? But the most unexpected voice. Mama Jones herself. For the first time since the tape dropped, she made a statement, a Facebook Live, short and powerful. "I didn't want none of this. I didn't ask for no attention. I spoke my truth in private. And somebody turned my pain into a circus. That hurt worse than what I said." She paused. "To whoever leaked that video, karma's watching you, and so am I." The live ended, and then so did the comments. Because at that moment, a new account popped up on Instagram, @DipDownExposed. It had one post, black screen, white text, "Mama Jones Part 2 drops at midnight." The caption, "This one ends careers." That sentence broke the internet. The comments were instant. What else is on that tape? She already cried in Part 1. What happens in Part 2? The first one started a war. The second one's about to burn the whole city. Podcasts went into emergency recordings. Creators started setting countdown streams. Twitter Spaces launched with thousands debating, should it drop? Who leaked it? Will Jim finally snap? And just when people thought the storm had peaked, Kamran posted a single IG story. Just black text on white background. Background. Let it drop. I'm ready. Midnight struck like a punch to the gut. Thousands watched the countdown tick to 0. And then it dropped. Mama Jones Part 2, 3 minutes. Uncut, unfiltered, unforgiving. It wasn't what anyone expected. There were no tears this time. No trembling voice. No broken woman this time. Nancy Jones was furious. The video opened with her staring straight into the camera. Posture strong. Expression locked in. You think I don't know who leaked that first clip? I know exactly who did it. And it wasn't. Boom. The internet paused. It was someone who wanted this family destroyed. Someone who's been in our house, sitting at our table. She leaned in, eyes sharp. You know who you are. You stole that footage. You cut it up, you leaked it to blogs. And now you want to hide behind burner accounts? Fake sources immediately began pointing fingers. In the background of the clip, a voice faintly muttered, "Don't say too much." But Mama Jones wasn't stopping. "Jim, my son, you always protected people who didn't deserve it. But this was never meant to go public. And now that it has, let me clear one more thing up." She pulled out her phone on it. Text thread her messages with an unnamed member of Jim's management team. "We can use this old footage as leverage if Cam acts up again." Wait, what? Did someone from Jim's own camp plan to use her video as blackmail material? The screenshot was blurry, but the intent was clear. Use my pain as leverage. The comments exploded. This wasn't a leak, it was a setup. She's being used as a pawn again. Who in Jim's circle is moving like this? And then came the final blow. Mama Jones' voice dropped. "To whoever thought this would ruin Cam, guess what? You just woke up the wrong part of me." She ended the video staring into the camera. "If y'all think this is over, just wait until I speak in person. I'm coming on camera live. And I'm naming names." The screen went black. The internet caught fire. And Cameron. He reposted the video with the caption, "Told y'all, never touch family unless you're ready for war." Beauty Jones still hadn't spoken. Jim Jones deleted all recent posts, and the @DipDownExposed account vanished just minutes after the video aired. The fans now completely split. Some were calling for the head of whoever was behind the leaks. Others begged for the family to stay silent and heal. But most were watching, waiting, because Mama Jones promised a live appearance. She said she was naming names, and she's never been the type to bluff. And just as the internet began bracing for whatever would come next, a new account appeared at Mama Jones Live AIT's bio. Friday, 8 p.m., no cuts, no edits. Just truth. So now we know, Cameron didn't leak. The tape. Jim Jones' own camp is under fire. And Mama Jones, she's not just hurt, she's coming for blood. This isn't just Dipset drama anymore. This is betrayal, corruption, family warfare. And it's all unfolding live and unfiltered. So, the question is, who's really behind the leak? Was Pewdie set up, or was he a willing soldier in someone else's revenge plot? And what will happen when Mama Jones goes live and starts naming names? Drop your thoughts in the comments right now. Who do you think betrayed the Jones family? Was it about power, money, or revenge? Smash that like button if you're still shocked by how deep this web goes. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications because Mama Jones Live is coming. And from what insiders are saying, it's going to end careers. Share this video with anyone who thinks Dipset is just rap. Because after this, it's war. And trust us, this story is far from over. Because when the dust settles, only one voice will be left standing. And it might not be who you expect. Stay locked in. Stay watching. Because next time, the truth comes out. Live.